What is up, guys? Welcome back to Liftaholics TV. Today we are discussing the tough topics. Why is it so hard to build muscle naturally? I'm gonna give you three things, three tips, three ways that will aid you in your journey in building muscle naturally. As a lifetime natural, I feel exactly where you're coming from, and it is tough. You have to hit each and every point very accurately every single week in order to see muscle gain and see growth in the gym. Not only growth in your body, but also strength. Stay tuned while I break it down. Everyone needs to hit their protein intake to see muscle gain, period. Bodybuilders hit their protein intake. Natural athletes hit their protein intake. You need to get zero point 0.8 to 1 grams of protein per your body weight. So if I weigh 200 grams, I need to be getting somewhere in between 200 grams of protein per day. Sometimes a little bit less depending on your age, your weight. All those factors play a part in your protein intake. So you definitely need to shoot for a gram a day first and foremost and see how that does for you. Now, the other thing that I see a lot when I'm training people, I have a diet accountability program with all of my clients. And what that involves is they send me their meals, every single meal that they're eating. I don't care if you're eating junk food, if you're eating whole foods, if you're drinking shakes. And the reason for this is you need to make sure that you're getting your protein intake from the right sources. So if I have somebody who's just eating one meal a day and they're sending me 3 shakes a day, that's not good to me. I'm not looking at that like we had a successful day of meals. I'm looking at that as, you're trying to cheat the process. You're trying to overcompensate in protein because you want to see gains. But the reality of it is the protein shake is meant to supplement your food. That's why it is a supplement. It's not meant to be the main course, the main source of protein for you throughout the day. You need to be getting your protein from whole foods like chicken, steak, fish. Those things are going to help your body process the protein the way it should be, naturally, easier. When you're drinking multiple, 3-4 shakes a day, your body isn't even breaking this stuff down properly to use it for muscle growth. So always keep that in mind when you are going through your diet and you're making your diet plan and you're seeing how am I going to get this either small or large amount of protein in my diet daily. 1 shake, 2 shake maximum, that will do it. That's enough shakes for the day. Whether you're doing a scoop in water, whether you're doing almond milk and fruit and collagen peptides, which is stuff that I use once or twice a day, it's just to help you get over that little threshold. It's not your main source. I see a lot of that, sometimes when I'm doing my diet accountability initially with people is, especially when they're trying to gain muscle, they're like, oh, well, I didn't have time to eat, so I just had 3-4 shakes a day. That's not gonna do it. That's not something that you can sustain over time. Your body is not processing that protein down properly. So you need to make sure that you're getting your protein sources from whole foods. That's the biggest thing for people when I see them trying to gain weight. Now, the other thing that you need to watch out for, all my people out there who work restaurant jobs, plant jobs, construction jobs, anything where you're walking around on your feet and is labor intensive, you need to be conscious of how many calories you are burning a day when you're at work. You're burning calories when you're at work. If you're running around a restaurant, if you're banging a hammer on the cement or whatever your job is, if it's labor intensive, you're burning calories and a lot of them at work. And you need to keep track of that because those calories that are coming out of your body, you need to replace them. So I'll give you an example. I used to work at Cheesecake Factory. I was a bartender there. I was a busser, server, bartender. I was lifting weights. I would either lift before or after my shift. I would try and eat. But the thing I was not conscious of is I'm running around that restaurant 6, 7, 8 hours a day. Sometimes I would even work doubles. So I'm there from almost open to close, getting 3 meals like, oh yeah, I think I'm doing the right thing, but you're not. If I wanted to get 2,000 calories in, let's say, per that day, right? I go to work and I work a double and I burned 800 calories during my shift. I'm only taking in 1,200 calories for that day. I'm far off of where I need to be at. So you need to be conscious that you're burning constantly if you're working in one of these professions. Now, if you're somebody who works from home, you also need to be conscious of what you're burning so that you don't overdo it, so that you're not taking in too many calories. And when I say about taking in too many calories, I'm also talking about your source of calories as well. So junk food, cookies, cakes, donuts, trying to dirty bulk, which I'm gonna make a video just on that subject by itself of dirty bulking. Getting your calories from even drinking it from sugar. I used to drink a lot of sugar in my coffee, and I cut it out, and I realized what it was doing to my diet. You know, you're getting 300, 400, 500 calories per day just from a sugar source. That's not helping you gain any muscle whatsoever. That's just helping you put fat on, period. I mean, it's cheat meals. It's a way to properly eat these, cheat meal, junk food, whatever you want to call it. And it's not daily. It's not to up your calories so that you can, say that you had 3,000 calories today. Now, when you look at the profession of bodybuilding and you're saying, well, these guys eat 5, 6, 7,000 calories per day, they're trying to get almost 2 grams. Yes, you're absolutely right. They are. In preparation for a show, they are doing that. This is not something that average person, a diet that somebody can maintain throughout the course of their life. It's the same way like when I tell people who are trying to weight loss and they're asking me about these juicing diets and, fasting all the time and stuff like that. What you want to do is you want to figure out a diet that you're hitting proper protein, carbs, fats, something that you can sustain every day. If I'm juicing and I'm only eating 1 meal a day, I'm not sustaining that for the rest of my life. Eventually, I'm going to want to eat some food. So you need to figure out what's going to work for you, what foods work best for you, which I can tell you right now, Whole Foods, chicken, rice is a better meal than a burger and fries from McDonald's. That's a fact as well. I mean, I think everyone knows that. You're going to get more out of that chicken and rice than you do from eating out a hamburger and fries or something like that. The nutritional value is just very different. So you need to make sure that the sources, again, that you're getting your protein from are correct and that you're creating a diet where you can A, be accountable, B, sustain it, and C is going to help you see constant changes. Like if I'm skinny and I'm trying to gain mass and muscle, okay, we do, and I'm 185 pounds. We do 185 grams of protein. You gain some weight. Then over the course of time, we move up to 190 grams of protein. Then eventually 200 grams of protein. That's something that you can sustain. You're slowly adding more grams of protein on per day as you get bigger, as you hit your goals. That's something that's sustainable because you're slowly adding in something new that you can just slide right into your lifestyle, whether that's a couple pieces, a couple more eggs, or maybe it is just that 1 or 2 shakes that you were missing out of your diet that you weren't doing. That's something that's sustainable. But, starving yourself or eating 5, 6, 7,000 calories, A, it's not healthy. B, it's not helping you just gain muscle. You're definitely gaining fat along with the muscle. And C, it's not something that's going to help you hit your goals. It's not something that you're going to be able to do over the course of time. Make sure whatever your goals are, whether it's weight loss, whether it's muscle gain, whether it's toning up, that you're picking a diet that you can sustain that fits your lifestyle, not anybody else's. Your body structure is way different than everyone else's. What works for someone else is probably not going to work for you. Play with your diet. Make sure you're getting your right protein intake. Make sure you're not starving yourself or overeating, and make sure you're not abusing protein shakes. And I guarantee you will start seeing the changes that you need to see. Second thing that is going to help you gain muscle naturally, and why this is so hard to gain muscle naturally, is doing the correct things in the gym. A lot of times you get this debate, oh, I'm counting my sets, I'm counting my reps, I'm bulking, I'm cutting. In actuality, you just need to be on a solid program. When I say a solid program, I mean a not scattered program. So let me give you an example. So I'm working on, I want to personally, let's say I want to work on my chest. Really want to develop a better chest. So I'm going to bench press every week. Week 1, I bench. That's the first exercise that I do when I walk in the gym. Week 2, I do, a couple sets of dumbbell flat bench, couple sets of dumbbell incline, then I do some cable flies, then I bench. Week 3, I come in there, I do a bunch of cable flies, and I do some plated chest press machines, and then I bench. Then week 4, I come in and I bench first again. All 4 weeks, we're gonna get different results on the bench. Because you put your bench press first 1 week, then you put it in the middle the next, then you put it in the back end the third. That's all gonna give you different results. If you're trying to see development, you're trying to see size, you wanna see changes in the gym, first you need volume. You should be getting 10 to 15 reps per exercise using a full range of motion, period. especially if you're just starting off and you're a beginner in the gym. 4 to 6 reps, one rep max. That's not what's gonna help you initially. You need to be using a full range of motion, getting 10 to 15 reps, period. You also need to stop changing the order of your exercises every single week. So if I'm doing a program and I'm working on my chest, back, legs, whatever it is, that leg day, that chest day, that back day is going to look the same for at least 3 to 4 weeks, or until my body is no longer confused by it. And you can always tell when your body is no longer confused by it, because it's like, oh, I don't really feel it anymore. I'm not really that sore. It kind of feels like you're going through the motions. Then it's time to change up the order. But at least for 3 or 4 weeks, in order to track your progress, those exercises have to be slid into your program at the same spot every single week, or you're going to either overexhaust the muscle before you get to, the bench press, the squat, whatever, or you're not able to track your progress from week to week. Because, 1 week I might hit 225 10 times, but then if I put my bench at the end of my workout, I might only get 225 3 or 4 times, and you're sitting there like, oh, I felt weak today. No, you're not weak today. You just overexhausted your chest before you got to the bench press. So be conscious of where you're putting your exercises. So when I say stick to a solid program, that's what I mean, a not scattered program. I have a direct goal. I'm making my exercises or my program before I go into the gym, so I'm not just skipping machines. I'm gonna try this one, I'm gonna try this one. It's not what's gonna help you see results. Stick to a solid program. Don't change up exercise, at least for 3 to 4 weeks, or until your body is no longer confused by that program, and then switch it up. I always preach, if you've seen my other YouTube videos, you have to shock the muscle group for it to grow. And part of shocking it is getting a good amount of volume, progressive overload. So that means I'm going up 5 to 10 pounds each week per exercise, or I'm going up in reps. Maybe I exhausted 225 at 10 to 15 times. Well, show me how many times you could really get it then. Can you get it 20? So you need to confuse a muscle group within that program that you've created. Don't start jumping exercises and getting anxious because you want to see, test out, see how this one feels. Like, play with the program that you've created for 3 to 4 weeks. If you don't feel it, go up in weight, go up in reps. Let's jump to the third thing. This is the one that everyone hates. Good rest, good sleep, a good night of rest. It is imperative that if you want to build any type of muscle or make any changes to your body, you need to be getting anywhere between 6 and 8 hours of sleep. 6 on the very, very, very low end. 8, depending on your age, but you need to be getting the right amount of rest. Getting 3, 4, 5 hours of sleep is doing nothing for you. And I'm gonna tell you from personal experience what that feels like. 3, 4 hours of sleep, overworking yourself, and then trying to go to the gym is essentially like you're just walking through the motion. There's no mind-muscle connection. When you leave the gym, it's almost like you didn't even work out. You wake up the next day like, what I hit in the gym yesterday? That's because you're too tired. Your body cannot respond to it. In order to build muscle, you have to get the right amount of rest so that your muscles recover. The other thing that's happening when you sleep is your body is recovering in its entirety. So your immune system is getting a boost, your testosterone levels are rising. Sleep is more than important for just muscle growth. It's just an overall health thing. If you're not getting enough sleep, those things can happen to you. Like, you can get sick easier. You cannot have the right mentality, positive attitude, or focus during your day. Sleep is going to aid you almost the most out of all of these. I would almost rather tell you to get 8 hours of sleep rather than get that extra set in the gym. Spend an extra 15 minutes there. Do another 30 minutes here. If you haven't gotten the proper amount of sleep, none of that matters. Your mind-muscle connection is just horrible. It feels like you're just throwing around the weight, you're walking through the motions. If you're not getting the right amount of sleep, it's not going to help you get gains, period. So a lot of people might ask me, well, I have a busy schedule, so I never sleep. So take a step back and look at your schedule. You got 24 hours in a day. Schedule your schedule around 8 hours of sleep. So if you're a person who's able to get home early, you can get into bed by 8, 9 o'clock. Maybe you're a 5, 6 a.m. gym person before you go to work. But if you're somebody who's you work late from noon or 1 o'clock into the late night, then obviously you're going to be a person who's one of those later people in the gym, or maybe you're an evening person. But you need to schedule yourself around 8 hours of sleep, at least minimum 6 hours of sleep, so that you can get the full benefit from your workout. That is the number one thing that's going to burn you out. It's not the workouts. Workouts are pretty fun. You know, you get to switch things up, see how strong you're getting, look in the mirror and all of that stuff. That's the fun stuff. Eating and sleeping. If you guys are not doing those two things, you're not going to see gains, period. It doesn't matter. I've experienced it. It's the reason why it's taken me so long in certain periods of my life to just gain 1 or 2 pounds of muscle, because unfortunately the place where I was at, work was a priority. And I know for a lot of people that especially in now times, that is your number one priority. But you can do it. You can find yourself 6 to 8 hours of sleep if you schedule your sleep, if you schedule your schedule around your sleep. Don't schedule it around your day. Take that 6 to 8 hours. Okay, now I got 16 hours to play with. Now I got 16, 17 hours to play with during the day. I got 8 for my work schedule. Now I got 1 or 2 to be in the gym, stretch, get my cardio in, meal prep, whatever. And then now you can get your sleep. If you enjoyed this video and you're looking for more videos on diet and how to make changes naturally, make sure you leave a comment in the comment section. Also, if you have not hit that subscribe button, make sure you hit that subscribe button for me. See you next time.